Just imagine this. You're with your team in the middle of the desert on a fast and well-planned mission. Everything under control. The wind is dry, the engines are still running, and the soldiers move in silence, like ghosts. But then, something completely out of the ordinary happens. Nothing explodes. No one fires. It's just a light, but not a normal light. It pulses, alive, like it has its own heart. Within seconds, everything around changes. The sound vanishes. Time seems to freeze. When the soldiers come to their senses, the world is different. The sand is still hot, the sky familiar, but the smell in the air has changed. There's no more gasoline, no scent of modern metal. Now it's smoke from burning wood, horse sweat, old iron. The tracks on the ground are no longer tire marks. They're heavy wheel grooves and sandals slapping against dirt. In the distance, a rhythmic sound approaches, but it's not an engine. It's marching, countless footsteps, many voices, shouting orders. In Latin, they don't know it yet, but they've just left the modern era and stepped straight into ancient Rome. Hold on. Before we go on, I need your help. YouTube only shows this video to more people if there's a lot of interaction. That means without your comment, this knowledge might be buried and never reach the ones who truly need it. If this content speaks to you, comment 1. If you disagree, comment 0 and tell me why. I want to see at least 100 comments so YouTube knows A, this topic must be spread. So go ahead, comment now and be part of this mission to reveal the secrets of ancient Rome. Now let's keep going. The soldiers look around trying to understand what happened. It's not a nightmare. They're wide awake. Everything feels familiar yet profoundly different. The scent, the heat, the sound. No radio works, no GPS signal. And on the horizon, something rises like a page torn from a history book. Men marching in tight formation, in silence, carrying large, oval shields and gleaming armor. The commander watches from afar, confused. He sees a Roman legion on the move. But this isn't a movie. It's not a reenactment. Those soldiers aren't here to entertain. They're ready to fight. And this fight will be between two completely different worlds. On one side, the present. On the other, eternal Rome. Navarro, the commander, tries to stay calm. He still thinks like a modern soldier. He grabs the radio, tries to contact base, but nothing. Not even static. Just silence. Beside him, the other men stare at the hill. What they see is impossible. Thousands of men marching in sync, no rush, as if they know exactly what they're doing. They don't have tanks or drones or headsets, but they do have something terrifying. Conviction. The shields move like gears. Helmets glisten in the sun. Red crests sway in the wind. And the banners, massive flags with golden eagles and lions, seem to tell stories of victories from centuries ago. Every step echoes like an ancient drum beating in the chest of whoever watches. Delgado, experienced in urban combat, whispers something no one wants to admit. This isn't a show. This is real Rome. There's no time for doubt. What's coming over that hill isn't a memory. It's an army that crossed time, and it's not backing down. Navarro descends the hill in silence, but with precision. He's an elite leader, and the 12 men following him are too. Each has a deadly role: sabotage, infiltration, sniping, recon, whatever it takes. But now the mission has changed. They're no longer gathering intel. They're face to face with an entire Roman legion. Their arsenal is brutal. M4 rifles with holographic sights, suppressors, fragmentation grenades, motion sensors, moldable explosives. And of course, Santiago Rivas Barrett 50, a rifle that punches through concrete like paper and can lift a man off the ground with a single shot. But even with all that, there's a problem. The ammo is limited. The enemy is massive. And unlike modern warfare, this fight has no clear end, no logic. They were trained for fast urban battles with planned withdrawal, never to hold ground against 5,000 fanatics with sharp spears and shields like walking walls. There, in the heat and silence before the storm, one truth begins to weigh heavy. The most advanced weapon doesn't always guarantee victory, especially against an enemy that doesn't know what it means to quit. The tension is suffocating. The enemy is too close. Navarro doesn't speak. He just makes a hand signal. Santiago Rivas is already prone, scope aligned. The target? A centurion in ornate armor, clearly a commander. The shot is dry, direct, and the impact is brutal. The Roman soldier's head explodes into a cloud of blood and bone. For the first time, the legion hesitates. Some soldiers fall back. Others look around, trying to process what just happened. They've never seen gunpowder, never heard the crack of a rifle. They don't understand what it means to die without even seeing the enemy. The shock is real, but the fear only lasts a few seconds. Roman discipline is stronger than panic. The soldiers reform as if nothing happened, and that's when the squad opens fire. Machine gun bursts sweep down the hill like a storm. Shields are shattered. Armor is torn apart. Men drop by the dozens. The ground becomes a field of blood and dust. But what's most terrifying is that even with so much death, the Legion keeps advancing. It's like fighting. A machine made of flesh. Every fallen man is replaced, every gap is filled. They don't stop, they don't think, they just march, as if they're part of something bigger, something immortal. You'd think that after seeing so many of their comrades fall, the Roman soldiers would break. But no, they don't run, they don't scream, they don't even hesitate. The ground is littered with bodies, shattered shields, abandoned weapons, and the Legion keeps going, as if they don't feel pain. And that's when things get even stranger. In the middle of the formation, some drop to their knees and pray. One to Jupiter, another kisses the amulet around his neck. A third calls on Mars, the god of war. Most of them are sweating, trembling, some are crying, and yet no one turns their back, because in their minds, dying here is a duty. They don't belong to themselves, they belong to the Legion. The centurions are covered in blood, still shouting orders. Wounded tribunes crawl to lift fallen banners. The Roman wall that bleeds but doesn't break. If one shield falls, another takes its place. If a gap opens, a new soldier slides in. They were trained for this, since boyhood, and that's when Navarro realizes something terrifying. The enemy they're facing doesn't just fight with their bodies, they fight with their souls, and that soul has 2,000 years of discipline marching in its blood. Among the bullets and muffled screams, a new sound emerges, and it's chilling. Not a human voice, not a drum. It's wood straining under tension, ropes twisting, iron grinding. An ancient sound, but nothing harmless. It's war in its rawest form. Behind the Roman lines, the ballistae appear. Giant siege machines, pulled by oxen and soldiers, mounted on massive wooden wheels. They weren't built to destroy walls. They were built to kill. Their iron bolts are over a meter long and pierce everything in their path. Wood, flesh, bone. Riva sees everything through the scope. His eyes widen. Navarro gets it. Instantly, the modern unit's biggest advantage in range is gone. The Romans can now hit from a distance, and they hit hard. One of the ballistae locks into position. The mechanism turns. Tension rises. The projectile is carefully placed, like an arrow for a titan. When it fires, the sound is deafening. The ground shakes. Rocks fly. The impact leaves a crater. And that's when they all realize Rome is no longer just defending, it's counterattacking. And it's learning fast. During the initial movement, Delgado, the most creative in the group, had left something special behind. A tactical backpack, intentionally forgotten between the two forces. From the outside, it looked harmless, but inside, there was a C4 charge with a proximity sensor and a remote detonator. The Romans, methodical and curious, didn't ignore the object. To them, it could be a sacred relic or a gift from the gods. Tribunes and centurions gather around, discussing. A younger soldier crouches down and starts unzipping it. From the ridge above, Delgado already has his finger on the trigger. He doesn't blink. Click. The explosion is monstrous. A column of fire rises like the fist of an angry god. Arms, shields, bones, everything flies. The ground quakes. The central standard, symbol of the Legion's unity, snaps in half. Many of the commanding officers are instantly obliterated. For the first time, Rome feels pain, and it feels it deeply. The command center becomes a void. Screams spread. Tribunes run aimlessly. Formations fall apart. For a moment, the machine jams. Up above, the modern soldiers watch, but don't celebrate. They simply breathe, because for the first time, they saw Rome bleed. The silence returns, but it's not the same. It comes thick with smoke, blood, and ancient dust. The hill where the shadow unit stood now looks like an altar of sacrifice. The weapons still work, but they're burning hot. Barrels are darkened from non-stop firing. Sweat runs down more from tension than desert heat. Delgado changes his mag with cut-up hands, sliced from gripping steel. Rivas wipes his scope clean of bone shards and sand. No more ammo boxes, just the backup rifle. They're still standing, but in survival mode. Technology gave them the edge, but not enough time. Rome is infinite in will. When one falls, another rises. They don't stop. They don't tire. Navarro understands. This patch of ground has given all it can. He calculates the distance to the armored vehicles, 600 meters. There's still time to escape. The decision doesn't come from fear, but from reason. It's 12 men against 5,000. They can't hold another wave. He gives the order, retreat. They descend quickly. Watch the flanks. Withdraw with sharp eyes. No words are spoken, only glances. But something strange appears in the rearview mirror, and it's not Rome. On the horizon, a dust cloud rises, but they're not Romans. It's something even more unexpected. The Parthian heavy cavalry. Warriors clad in iron from head to toe, riding horses armored just the same. They slam into the exposed Roman flank like a steel storm. Men fly. Shields shatter. What remained of Roman order collapses in screams and blood. Right behind them come the horse archers, the famous Parthian shots, launching arrows while twisting mid-gallop. A rain of projectiles tears through the sky. There's no way to defend. Rome begins to fall, and fall hard. The shadow unit, already inside the vehicles, watches in silence, covered in grime, dried blood, and ancient dust. No smiles, just a silence full of weight. The mission became legend, and no one would ever believe them if they told what they saw. But when future archaeologists find a Roman skeleton with modern bullet wounds in its chest, they'll wonder what really happened there. If this held your attention until now, leave a like. It helps more than you know. And hey, there's already another video on screen that's going to shake everything you thought you knew about battles in history. Click it now and keep going with us. You won't believe what's coming next. See you there.